Life does not reward those who run from reality. It rewards those who stand in front of it, even when it hurts, even when it breaks the illusion of comfort. The path to success is not paved with smooth stones or lined with gentle encouragement. It is paved with brutal truths that cut through the illusions most people cling to. And the first step toward becoming someone unshakable, someone powerful, is to embrace those truths without flinching. Most people spend their entire lives hiding from reality, covering their eyes with excuses, numbing their pain with distractions, and convincing themselves that they are not ready, not strong enough, or that tomorrow will give them a better chance. But tomorrow never brings miracles for those who refuse to act. Tomorrow only rewards those who are willing to face what today demands. The harsh truths of life are like weights on your back. They can either crush you or they can forge you into steel, depending on how you respond. You must understand that comfort is the enemy of growth, and truth is the tool that tears away comfort. To rise in life, you cannot live on sweet lies. You cannot tell yourself that things will be easy, that the world will bend to your will without effort, or that destiny will unfold in your favor while you sit and wait. Success requires a raw confrontation with life as it is, not as you wish it to be. When you accept this, something inside you shifts. You stop complaining, you stop waiting, you stop expecting an easy way out. Instead, you start looking for the harder road, because you finally understand that the harder road is the one that builds strength, resilience, and victory. This is why so many people fail before they even begin. They believe success is a glamorous journey, full of recognition and applause. They think it is about luck, talent, or some secret formula hidden from them. But the truth is that success is brutal. It demands every ounce of your willpower, it strips you of excuses, it exposes your weaknesses, and it challenges you to rise anyway. Most will crumble under this pressure because they cannot bear to see reality for what it is. But if you can look straight into the face of difficulty and say, "I will not run," you have already taken the first step toward a life most people will never taste. The power of truth is that it burns away illusions. It shows you exactly where you are and exactly how far you have to go. It does not flatter you. It does not care about your feelings. But that is its gift, because once you know the truth, you can act with precision. You can make decisions with clarity. You can rise with certainty, because you are no longer living in denial. Success begins not when you dream of a better life, but when you accept the reality of what it will cost you. It begins when you stop looking for shortcuts and start preparing yourself for the fight. It begins when you understand that harsh truths are not your enemy, they are your guide. The world is not cruel because it demands this of you. The world is fairer than most realize. It gives to those who earn, it rewards those who persist, and it crowns those who endure. But you cannot reach that crown if you spend your life avoiding the very truths that would prepare you for it. The first and most important step is this: stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending the road will be easy. Stop imagining that you can escape sacrifice. Stop waiting for someone else to hand you what only you can claim. Once you embrace reality, once you accept the harsh truths, the illusions fall away and the path becomes clear. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Because truth, as hard as it feels in the moment, is the foundation of every success story that has ever been written. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to carry your burden, to fight your battles, or to hand you the life you dream of. This is the most liberating and the most terrifying truth you will ever face, because it means that the weight of your future rests entirely on your shoulders. But it also means that the power to shape it has always been yours. Too many people wait their entire lives for someone to give them permission, for someone to notice their worth, for someone to open the door for them. They wait for luck, for timing, for circumstances to magically align. They waste precious years hoping that someone will see their struggle and step in to fix it. But the reality is this: no one is obligated to save you. The world does not stop for your pain, it does not bend for your excuses, and it will not reward your waiting. This truth may feel harsh at first, but once you embrace it, you will never be the same. You will stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You will stop blaming the people around you and start building yourself. You will stop depending on others to pull you out of the pit and realize that the ladder is already in your hands. Freedom comes the moment you understand that you are not powerless, that the key to your transformation lies in your own choices, your own habits, and your own discipline. Waiting makes you a prisoner. Action makes you free. Every great achievement in history was born from this realization that no one else could fight the fight, that no one else could carry the weight, that no one else could climb the mountain. When you believe someone else will come and save you, you give away your strength. You put your future in the hands of people who are too busy fighting for their own survival. But when you take ownership of your life, something extraordinary happens. You stop begging and start building. You stop wishing and start working. You stop fearing and start facing reality. Success does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who refuse to wait any longer. And while others are still hoping for rescue, you will already be rising, step by step, because you chose to act. The harsh truth is that self-reliance is the only path to true success. You can receive guidance. You can learn from others. You can even be inspired along the way, but no one can walk the path for you. No one can wake up in the morning and fight your battles. No one can sacrifice for your dreams the way you can. The journey is yours, the responsibility is yours, and the reward will be yours. When you finally stop looking outward and start looking inward, you discover the most powerful truth of all. You don't need saving. You need to rise, and when you rise, when you finally embrace that you are the only one who can, the world itself will move out of your way. Time is the most unforgiving teacher you will ever know. Every second that passes is a second you will never see again, and once it is gone forever. The harsh truth is that your life is not as long as you think. The days feel endless, the years seem abundant, but in reality, they slip through your hands like grains of sand. Most people live as if they are immortal, as if tomorrow is guaranteed, as if opportunities will always wait patiently for them. They waste their mornings on distractions, their afternoons on meaningless habits, and their nights on shallow pleasures, never realizing that the clock has been silently counting down from the moment they were born. If you want to succeed, you must confront this truth. Time is not on your side, and you cannot afford to waste it. The danger of wasted time is not just that you lose hours or days. It is that you lose momentum, potential, and the chance to build the life you say you want. Every wasted day compounds into weeks, every wasted week into months, and every wasted year becomes a weight of regret too heavy to carry. Success requires urgency. It requires the understanding that you do not have time to wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment does not exist. The only moment you have is now, and if you hesitate, it will slip away before you even realize it. You must treat every day as if it were a brick in the foundation of your future, because that is exactly what it is. If you lay each one with care and focus, the structure of your success will rise. But if you waste them, your future will collapse before it even begins. There will always be distractions, always be excuses, always be reasons to put things off until tomorrow. But tomorrow is a lie. The weak tell themselves to escape the demands of today. The truth is that the only thing you truly control is this moment, and what you choose to do with it determines the direction of your life. Those who succeed are not necessarily smarter or luckier. They are simply more urgent. They act while others hesitate. They begin while others wait. They finish while others are still dreaming, and because of that, time works for them instead of against them. The harsh truth is that if you don't use time, it will use you. If you don't command it, it will slip away unnoticed. You cannot rewind it, you cannot beg it to return, and you cannot bargain for more. One day you will look back and realize that the only currency you ever truly had was time. Not money, not possessions, not even relationships, time. And how you spent it defined everything. So stop waiting. Stop wasting. Stop living as though your days are infinite. They are not. Every breath, every second, every sunrise is a reminder that your life is moving forward whether you are ready or not. The only question is whether you will rise with it or be left behind. Time is slipping away. Use it before it uses you. Talent is often glorified, but the harsh truth is that talent without effort is meaningless. Natural ability can give you a small advantage in the beginning, but it cannot sustain you when the road becomes long, when obstacles rise, and when failure stares you in the face. Hard work always outlasts talent, because effort is what builds endurance, resilience, and mastery. Too many people rely on their natural gifts, believing that skill alone will carry them to success. But skill without consistent effort eventually withers away. The person who may not be the most gifted but shows up every single day, who pushes through fatigue, who refuses to quit when others rest, that person will always rise higher than the one who relies solely on talent. The truth is, talent can make you impressive, but only work can make you unstoppable. Hard work sharpens your skills. It turns potential into performance and raw ability into refined excellence. Every hour of effort compounds into something that talent alone can never create. Success is not about how naturally good you are. It is about how much you are willing to push when things become uncomfortable. Effort is the great equalizer. It bridges the gap between those who were born with certain advantages and those who are not. You do not need to be the most gifted in the room. You just need to be the one who refuses to be outworked. Those who depend on talent often stop when things get hard. They lean on what comes easily and collapse when faced with real struggle. But those who are built on effort have already trained themselves to endure the grind. They know that progress comes one painful repetition at a time, one long night of work after another, one sacrifice stacked on top of the last. And because of this, their foundation is unshakable. While others slow down, they keep moving. While others make excuses, they push forward. And in the end, it is not talent that wins. It is persistence, consistency, and unrelenting effort. The harsh truth is that life rewards the relentless. No one remembers the person who had potential but never worked for it. The world remembers those who fought, those who endured, and those who built themselves piece by piece through blood, sweat, and persistence. Hard work is not glamorous. It is exhausting. It is repetitive. It is often invisible. But it is the only path that guarantees growth. If you are willing to do the work others avoid, you will have what others can only dream of. And when you look back, you will see clearly that talent may have given you a spark, but it was your effort that turned it into a fire. Hard work always beats talent because talent fades, but work leaves a legacy. Failure is one of the most painful truths you will ever face, yet it is also one of the most necessary. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid it, running from it as if it were a sign of weakness, when in reality it is the greatest teacher you will ever encounter. The harsh truth is that you cannot succeed without failing, and the bigger your dreams, the more failures you will have to endure. Failure strips away illusions. It exposes your weaknesses, your blind spots, and your limitations. But it also forces you to grow stronger, sharper, and wiser. Every setback contains a lesson. Every mistake hides a key. And every defeat is a doorway to something greater, if you are willing to walk through it. The problem is that most people view failure as the end. They fall once, and they never get back up. They try, face rejection, and then tell themselves it was not meant to be. But failure was never meant to stop you. It was meant to prepare you. Success does not come from a straight, unbroken path. It comes from falling, rising, adjusting, and pushing forward again and again. The truth is, the people who succeed are not those who never failed. They are the ones who refuse to let failure define them. Each failure is a test of character. Will you allow it to crush you, or will you allow it to carve you into someone unbreakable? When you reframe failure, everything changes. Instead of fearing it, you begin to expect it. You start to understand that every attempt that falls short is bringing you closer to the breakthrough. Failure is feedback. It is life's way of refining your approach, redirecting your energy, and strengthening your resolve. Without it, you would remain fragile, unprepared for the weight of true success. But with it, you develop grit, resilience, and wisdom, qualities no amount of talent or luck could ever replace. The harsh truth is that you cannot skip failure and still achieve greatness. They are intertwined, inseparable, two sides of the same coin. The greatest victories are born from the ashes of failure. Every time you fall, you are given a choice: stay down and accept defeat, or rise stronger and continue forward. Each time you choose to rise, you build a part of yourself that cannot be built any other way. Failure is not your enemy, it is your forge. It is the fire that burns away weakness and shapes strength. If you want to succeed, you must stop fearing failure and start embracing it as a necessary step on your journey. The truth is simple. Failure is unavoidable, but so is growth if you refuse to quit. And when you look back, you will not see failure as the thing that held you back. You will see it as the very thing that pushed you into the person you were meant to become. The harsh truth is that most people don't care about your struggles. They don't lose sleep over your problems. They don't carry the weight of your battles. And they don't sit around wondering how to fix your life. They may listen, they may sympathize for a moment, but when the conversation ends, they return to their own lives and their own struggles. This may sound cold, but it is reality. Everyone is fighting their own battles, carrying their own burdens, and chasing their own survival. And because of this, no one can truly invest themselves in solving your problems but you. Accepting this truth frees you from waiting for pity, validation, or understanding. It reminds you that the world rewards results, not excuses. Too many people waste precious time hoping others will notice their pain and come to their rescue. They believe if they explain enough, if they complain enough, someone will swoop in and save them. But waiting for sympathy is the fastest way to stay stuck. The world does not hand out success to those who collect pity. It gives it to those who take action in spite of their struggles. Every moment you spend trying to convince others to care is a moment you could have used to push forward. Struggles are not meant to be advertised for approval. They are meant to be transformed into fuel. The sooner you stop expecting others to validate your pain, the sooner you can begin turning that pain into progress. When you accept that most people do not care, you stop performing for their attention. You stop seeking applause or reassurance and begin focusing on the only thing that truly matters: results. The harsh truth is that people are drawn to strength, not weakness. They respect resilience, not excuses. They admire those who overcome, not those who complain. And while it may feel unfair, it is the very mechanism that drives progress. If the world coddled every struggle, no one would grow strong enough to rise above them. Life forces you to stand on your own feet precisely so that you can discover your true capacity. Instead of resenting the fact that no one cares, use it as motivation. Use it as fuel to build yourself into someone undeniable, someone who commands respect through action rather than words. The less you rely on others to understand your pain, the more power you reclaim over your life. And when you finally rise, when you transform your struggles into strength, people will notice not because they cared about your problems, but because they cannot ignore your results. That is the ultimate truth. The world may not care about your struggles, but it will always respect your victories. And those victories will mean more because you achieved them without waiting for anyone else to carry you. Comfort feels safe, it feels warm, and it feels familiar. But the harsh truth is that comfort is the silent killer of dreams. The comfort zone lulls you into believing that staying the same is enough, that avoiding pain is wisdom, that routine is safety. Yet nothing great is ever built inside comfort. Growth only happens when you stretch beyond what feels easy, when you step into uncertainty, when you willingly put yourself into the places that test your patience, your strength, and your courage. Comfort might protect you from fear, but it also shields you from progress, and if you cling to it, it will slowly suffocate every ambition you have. Most people never rise in life because they refuse to let go of their comfort. They would rather stay where it feels easy than face the unknown. But the unknown is where all transformation lies. Every new skill, every breakthrough, every powerful version of yourself is found beyond the edges of what you already know. The truth is simple. You cannot grow without discomfort. Just as muscles only grow when they are torn and rebuilt stronger, your character only develops when you push against the limits of your comfort zone. If you want a bigger life, you must first expand your tolerance for discomfort. The danger of comfort is that it deceives you. It whispers that you have time, that you can try later, that what you are doing now is good enough. But good enough is the greatest enemy of greatness. Comfort teaches you to settle. It convinces you that staying still is safer than moving forward. And before you realize it, years slip away and your dreams remain untouched, sacrificed at the altar of safety. The truth is that comfort offers you nothing but regret in the long run. While you sit safe, someone else is out there grinding, stretching, failing, and growing into the person you wanted to be. If you want to break free, you must deliberately choose discomfort. You must be willing to face the fear of rejection, the pain of discipline, the exhaustion of effort, and the uncertainty of risk. That is where growth lies. That is where progress is born. It will never feel easy, but it will always be worth it. Comfort is a cage disguised as freedom. The only way to unlock the door is to step into the unknown, to train yourself to embrace the very things most people run from. And when you do, you discover that discomfort is not your enemy, it is your greatest ally. It is the fire that forges strength, the pressure that shapes diamonds, and the soil where success is grown. The harsh truth is that comfort zones destroy growth, but stepping beyond them creates a life most people will never experience. Motivation is fleeting. It comes in bursts, it gives you a spark, but it fades as quickly as it arrives. Discipline, on the other hand, is the engine that keeps moving long after the spark is gone. The harsh truth is that if you rely on motivation, you will never achieve anything lasting, because motivation is a mood and moods change. Discipline is a decision, and decisions, once hardened, become unshakable. Anyone can feel motivated for a day, a week, or even a month, but only those who build discipline can keep going for years. Success does not belong to the excited, it belongs to the consistent. Most people start strong but finish weak because they mistake their temporary motivation for commitment. They feel inspired, they take action, but the moment obstacles arise or emotions fade, they stop. Discipline does not ask whether you feel like it. It does not care about your mood, your energy, or your comfort. It demands action regardless of how you feel. This is why discipline always wins. It turns effort into habit, and habit into results. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is not who had more motivation at the start, but who had the discipline to keep going when it was no longer exciting. Discipline is built in the small moments. It is forged every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you act when it would have been easier not to, every time you show up even when no one is watching. These moments may seem small, but they compound into unstoppable strength. The harsh truth is that greatness is not achieved in one grand gesture. It is built in the countless ordinary choices where discipline overrides emotion. You will not always feel inspired, but you can always choose discipline, and the more you choose it, the stronger it becomes until it becomes who you are. Motivation is a tool, but it is not the foundation. Discipline is the foundation. It is what carries you through boredom, through exhaustion, through failure, through doubt. Without it, your dreams remain fragile, easily broken by setbacks. With it, your dreams become inevitable because you no longer rely on chance feelings. You rely on unshakable action. The truth is that discipline is freedom. It frees you from being controlled by moods. It frees you from inconsistency. It frees you from the cycle of starting and quitting. And when discipline takes root in your life, you become unstoppable because nothing, not fatigue, not fear, not failure, can shake the decision you have already made. That is why discipline will always be stronger than motivation, and why it will always separate those who almost succeed from those who truly do. The harsh truth is that the greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world, not against circumstances, not even against other people. It is against your own mind. Your mind can either be your greatest weapon or your most destructive enemy. It is the voice that pushes you forward or the one that convinces you to quit. It is the source of courage or the breeding ground of fear. Most people are defeated not because life was too hard, but because their own thoughts broke them long before reality did. The truth is that doubt, fear, procrastination, and negativity are not outside forces. They live inside your head, and if you cannot master them, they will master you. Your mind is powerful beyond measure. What you believe shapes how you act, and how you act shapes what you achieve. If your mind is filled with doubt, you will hesitate. If it is filled with fear, you will retreat. If it is filled with excuses, you will never begin. But if you train it to focus on possibility instead of limitation, on growth instead of failure, on resilience instead of defeat, it becomes your greatest ally. The people who rise in life are not those who face no obstacles. They are those who discipline their minds to remain unshaken in the face of those obstacles. Your thoughts are seeds, and whatever you plant consistently will grow. Plant weakness, and you will harvest regret. Plant strength, and you will harvest victory. The mind is tricky because it always seeks comfort and safety. It will whisper to you that you are too tired, that the risk is too high, that you are not ready. It will replay your past failures and exaggerate your future fears, all in an effort to keep you in the familiar. But the familiar is the enemy of growth. To succeed, you must learn to silence the voice of weakness and strengthen the voice of power. This is not easy. It requires constant awareness and deliberate practice. But every time you catch your mind pulling you down and choose instead to rise, you reclaim control. Over time, you condition your thoughts to serve you instead of sabotage you. The harsh truth is that no enemy outside of you can do as much damage as the enemy within. But once you conquer that enemy, once you take control of your thoughts and bend them toward discipline, courage, and belief, you become unstoppable. Because the world can attack you, life can test you, people can doubt you. But if your own mind stands unshaken, you cannot be broken. Master your mind, and you master your destiny. Let it remain your enemy, and you will sabotage yourself before the world even has a chance. The choice is yours. Remain a prisoner of your thoughts, or train your mind into your most powerful weapon. Every dream has a price, and that price is always paid in sacrifice. Nothing worth achieving will ever come without giving something up. You cannot climb to the top of the mountain while still clinging to the comfort of the valley. Greatness demands trade-offs, time, energy, sleep, leisure, sometimes even relationships. The harsh truth is that many people desire success, but are unwilling to pay the price it requires. They want the glory without the grind, the rewards without the responsibility, the outcome without the process. But the world does not work that way. Every achievement is purchased, and the currency is sacrifice. If you are unwilling to let go of comfort, you will never hold success in your hands. Sacrifice is not punishment, it is preparation. Every hour you invest in your growth is an hour stolen from distraction. Every temptation you resist strengthens your will. Every moment of discipline builds the foundation of your future. When you give up temporary pleasures for long-term vision, you are not losing. You are multiplying your future rewards. But if you cling to comfort, entertainment, laziness, or toxic environments, you are secretly sacrificing your destiny instead. The question is not whether you will sacrifice. Life guarantees that you will. The only question is, will you sacrifice for mediocrity, or will you sacrifice for greatness? What separates the strong from the weak is not talent, but willingness to pay the price. The strong know that sleep must sometimes be cut short, that comfort must often be ignored, that failure must be endured, that doubts must be silenced, and that effort must be poured in relentlessly. They understand that greatness cannot be achieved while living an average life. You cannot become extraordinary by doing what the ordinary do. You cannot rise above if you are unwilling to give up the things that keep you down. Every comfort you hold on to becomes an anchor. Every distraction you entertain becomes a chain, and every excuse you accept becomes a wall. Sacrifice is the only way to break free. The truth is that most people will never reach their potential because they refuse to make this exchange. They want ease more than excellence, comfort more than greatness, safety more than significance. But if you are willing to walk the harder path, if you are willing to give up the temporary for the eternal, you will rise where others fall. Sacrifice will hurt, yes. It will test you, yes. But it will also transform you into someone stronger than you ever imagined. And when you finally achieve what others only dream of, you will realize that every sacrifice was worth it. Greatness always comes at a cost, but once it is paid, the reward is beyond measure. Time is the most precious resource you will ever have, and it is the one you can never earn back once it is gone. Every second that slips away is gone forever. And yet most people live as though they have an endless supply. They waste days in distraction, years in hesitation, decades in procrastination. The harsh truth is that life is short, and the clock is ticking whether you acknowledge it or not. Opportunities will not wait for you. Dreams will not pause until you are ready, and tomorrow is never promised. The longer you wait, the more life slips away silently, leaving you with nothing but regret for the time you squandered. The reality is simple. Either you take control of your time, or your time takes control of you. Every moment you delay taking action is a debt you owe to your future self. You might think you can start tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into years of wasted potential. Life punishes delay. The dream you put off today may be impossible to reach tomorrow. The opportunity you ignored today may belong to someone else tomorrow. Time is ruthless. It never stops, never slows down, and never waits for you to feel ready. The greatest illusion is that you have time. You do not. You only have now, and if you do not act now, you are slowly killing your own destiny with hesitation and excuses. Success belongs to those who understand urgency. They know that today is the only day that matters, that every single decision counts, and that momentum is built one action at a time. The reason some people accomplish in a few years what others cannot achieve in a lifetime is because they understand that time is a fire. It can either burn away your life or ignite your destiny. They do not let fear delay them. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They do not cling to the comfort of waiting. They move, they act, they execute, because they know that the cost of inaction is always higher than the cost of action. You must decide if you want to be a slave to wasted time or a master of disciplined urgency. When the end finally comes, and it will not regret the chances you took, the risks you embraced, or the sacrifices you made. You will only regret the hours you let slip away, the dreams you never pursued, and the life you never lived. Do not allow yourself to look back one day and realize you wasted the most valuable gift you were ever given. Time is running out, not tomorrow, not next year, right now. Every heartbeat is a reminder that your clock is ticking. The question is, will you waste the rest of your life waiting, or will you take control of the only time you truly have, this moment? journey. Some will doubt you, some will discourage you, and some will even hope you fail. It is human nature for people to resist change, especially when that change exposes their own lack of ambition. When you begin to rise, your growth will make others uncomfortable, because it reminds them of the risks they never took and the opportunities they let slip away. Do not expect applause when you start moving toward your dreams. More often than not, the louder your vision becomes, the quieter the support will be. Some people you expect to cheer for you will vanish. Others may even work against you, but that should never stop you, because greatness is not built on approval. It is built on persistence in the face of opposition. The need for validation is a trap that kills potential. If you wait for the world to believe in you before you take action, you will never begin. If you depend on support to fuel your progress, you will collapse the moment it disappears. You must learn to believe in yourself so deeply that no one else's doubt can shake you. Those who succeed in life are not the ones who received constant encouragement, but the ones who kept going despite the lack of it. They accepted the reality that most people will never understand their vision, because it does not belong to them. It was planted in you, not them, and because they cannot see what you see, their approval is not necessary for your destiny. Some people will even attempt to sabotage you, not always out of malice, but often out of insecurity. When they see you striving for more, it threatens the comfort of their mediocrity. They may mock you, criticize you, or try to drag you back to their level. They will disguise their fear as advice, their jealousy as concern, and their limitations as wisdom. If you are not careful, their voices will become chains around your ambition. But if you recognize them for what they are, you can rise above. You must learn to filter who you listen to, because not every voice deserves space in your mind. Protect your vision, protect your energy, and protect your drive from those who would rather see you fail than succeed. At the end of the day, success is not a team sport. It is a lonely path. There will be times when you feel isolated, misunderstood, and even abandoned. But that is the price of chasing something beyond the ordinary. Do not waste your energy begging for support from people who were never meant to walk your path. Instead, channel that energy into becoming so great that they cannot ignore you. One day, the same people who doubted you will be forced to respect you, not because you sought their approval, but because your results left them with no choice. Not everyone will support you, but the ones who truly matter will stand with you when it counts. Until then, let silence, discipline, and results be your response. The final truth you must accept is that happiness cannot be found in external achievements, possessions, or recognition. These things may bring moments of joy, but they cannot sustain you. The car, the house, the money, the applause they may feel satisfying at first, but over time they lose their shine. Chasing them endlessly will leave you empty, because happiness has never been about what you acquire, but about who you become. True happiness is born within, from peace of mind, self-respect, and alignment between your actions and your values. Until you master yourself internally, nothing you achieve externally will ever feel enough. That is why so many people reach success yet remain unfulfilled, because they thought happiness lived at the top of the mountain, only to find it was always inside them. When you rely on external things to make you happy, you become a prisoner to them. If your joy depends on wealth, then you are enslaved to money. If it depends on praise, you are controlled by others' opinions. If it depends on success, you will forever be chasing the next goal without ever feeling complete. But when you anchor your happiness within through gratitude, purpose, discipline, and self-mastery, you become untouchable. External circumstances can rise and fall, but your peace remains. The storms of life may rage, but you will stand unshaken, because your foundation is not built on fragile illusions, but on inner strength. This does not mean you should not pursue success, wealth, or greatness. It means you should pursue them from a place of strength, not desperation. Happiness from within transforms the way you chase your goals. Instead of needing them to validate you, you use them as a canvas to express your best self. Instead of being drained by the pursuit, you are fueled by it, because you are not trying to fill an emptiness. You are expanding the fullness that is already within you. When you live this way, you become dangerous, because nothing can stop someone who is content yet still hungry, at peace yet still ambitious. In the end, everything in life fades: the applause, the possessions, even the people around you. What remains is you and the relationship you have with yourself. If you have neglected that, no amount of external success will save you from emptiness. But if you have cultivated it, then even in struggle, you will feel joy. Happiness is not at the finish line. It is in the steps you take every day with purpose, discipline, and gratitude. Learn this truth, and you will not only succeed in life, you will actually enjoy the journey, and that, above all else, is the ultimate victory.